about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Alright, YouTube, it is Charles here, and today I want to talk about Blood and Thunder from Image Comics. I did not know what to expect with this. This is one of those that had an eye-catching cover, so I just figured I'd give it a try. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll let you know, spoiler in advance, it really works out. This is written by Benito Serrano. I believe that's a Serrano, maybe Carreno, and the color is, I cannot pronounce that name. Msassyk. The artist is E.J. Sue, and the letter is Russ Wooten. Again, I did not know what to expect from this book, and I figured there would be some kind of preamble or exposition at the beginning, and there wasn't. Which, sometimes it helps out, sometimes it's appreciated, but in this case, I think they did a great job in using this story to explain the world that we're in, and it gives it to you slowly but surely, in very fulfilling ways. We start off with entering this somewhat familiar circumstance with futuristic-looking police gentlemen, and you can tell they're in some kind of facility. They're giving, you find out they're giving a very high-security inmate his meal, and they're both very scared for reasons that will be obvious. And one of them is like, okay, why are you scared? Why are you frightened? It's just one prisoner. And we find out that he is the most experienced, he is the most dangerous prisoner in this colony, as if you will. And when we cut to the outside of the prison, we find out that the prison is a mere space vessel orbiting this terraformed asteroid. And the society here, and the way it's drawn here, you can see that it's divided up into levels. We have your higher level here, which is very clean, shiny, futuristic. The level right before that, which is a step down, but not so bad. And then we go down to this third level. It gets to looking bad. And then we get to the bottom, to the second to last level, which is awful. And then we get to the lowest level, which is the floor, which is, yeah, not very nice. And we go from that introduction from the prison to this world that we're going to be expounding upon, to a radio DJ who is giving, his regular weather and so forth. And it's in this taxi where we meet a person that lives on the highest level, and he asked this alien taxi driver for a ride, giving the address, and the taxi driver does not want to go because we find out that it's in the basement. So the basement is the second to last level. The floor is the very bottom, and the basement is the place where humans go to conduct seedy behavior. And as the radio DJ, they're doing something clever with the weather here, where they're giving you even further explanation into the world and the caste system. And it talks about how it's going to be rain out. It's never raining on that top level, and the weather is always nice, but the second level should expect some rain because they have to keep the floors clean above them, and the floor below that should expect even more rain and more gunk from the top two floors, and so on and so forth. And by the time he gets to the weather for the basement, he says, kids, bring your bikes inside, tape up your windows, it's going to be shit. And then we get our first look at that lowest level here, at what turns out to be an alien brothel. And that's where we meet our hero, Blood, who is a bounty hunter. The person that she's chasing ends up knocking over this gentleman here, trying to get away, and that's where we meet her and her partner Thunder, who is a sentient gun. I like the way that they, like I said, they slowly drip the information. We didn't even meet the main protagonist until I would say a third of the book in. It was just world establishing the class system and the asteroid and its different levels, all without making you feel like a dummy. They don't insult your intelligence with the way they explain things. They let things unfold naturally, and I think it pays off when the writer trusts you to figure things out on your own. So I really appreciate that about this. And she ends. I'm not going to give away too much more because we're going to be venturing into the world of major spoilers. If I give away too much more, but we find out that there is a conflict between this bounty hunter character and the police force, and that they're even that these guns, these weapons in the future, they're kind of a counterbalance, to make kind of another step to make sure that these people don't cross the line. But it seems like they can be manipulated. Um, what else? Oh yeah, you get to meet her father's old partner and find out that he was on the police force and that she kind of washed out of the police force due to would you call it racism, because she is part alien. And so that was a big struggle for her, and it was apparently a traumatic experience trying to get through the police academy. But when they find out what this person she was chasing was hiding, we find out that it's books. And apparently books in this world are very unknown. Everything is digitized. Like when she, asked the captain what were these things that he was hiding, I thought she was talking about what were the books, what were they written about. But apparently they're not familiar with books in general. And the captain explains that it's, an ancient form of communication. They may be about the aliens past, or gods or fake gods, he says. And so it looks like the story is going to be setting up to be not only a futuristic kind of class warfare thing, but also maybe a religious slash messianic story of of an alien uprising. This is just my supposition right now. Um, just my opinions of where the story could go, but it could go any number of creative ways. I think that when you want to talk about a number one issue, this Blood and Thunder really sets a positive tone. The art is great throughout the book. The way that they differentiate the different levels and draw those different levels tells the story in itself. The writing is complex but relatable, and they don't treat you like a dummy. They let you figure things out. And I think that's very important. Sometimes when you get into the major companies, they know they're dealing with sometimes casuals, but this book right here is, it just plops you right into the world. But it doesn't leave you hanging. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've heard great things about it. I was going to do a review of it later. I just got it. I still have to shoot the unboxing that this came with. But I heard that they sold out of the first run. So there will likely be a second printing. And I think this is one that you're definitely going to want to get a hold of. It's why I jumped right into this. If you notice, the setting is different. I'm sitting on my floor. I'm mid-workout. I'm disabled, so I had to take a little break. And I figured, if I'm going to take a little rest, why not do it with the comic book? Yet another reason why I love comic books. So that's it. Blood and Thunder, Image Comics. Check it out. Look for the second printing. You might be able to find some first printings if you head out to your local comic book store right now. If you're in Wyoming, I highly suggest checking out Spellbound, Apothecary, and Entertainment in the Eastridge Mall. They ship in-state for free when you order over $35 worth of books, and the quality is second to none, and the customer service. But if you live outside of Wyoming and don't have a little comic book store, check out my friends at Coffee and a Comic in Huntington Beach, California. They ship nationwide. They have great deals on shipping and books, and a great selection, great customer service. And they have a shipping subscription where you can pay a low monthly price and get your books shipped out to you at no additional cost. And most importantly, an easy to use website. Probably the second easiest to use comic book website I have found, next to Midtown Comic, and the service is 10 times better than Midtown Comics, in my humble opinion. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I'm going to.